Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload is going to be a video about a potential storm that could occur this week. A lot of unconfidence still, especially since it's coming from the southwest. Yeah, these storms have been notoriously hard to predict this winter, and it seems like this storm will be no different. There's a lot of differences. GFS model is stubborn with what it's showing. The European is stubborn with what it's showing. The other models are showing interesting things as well, so I'll get into that today. Before we get into this video, consider subscribing to this channel, consider liking this video. If you're a new viewer, check out the channel, see if it's worthy of a subscription. If you are a returning viewer, consider liking the videos. That really helps out a lot. So let's look at the GFS model and let's start talking about this. So right now I'm just looking at the snowfall amounts, but let's go to MSLP, rain and frozen, which basically shows us where the heaviest precip will set up. So notice we have this storm that just passed us. It's snowing across Michigan, Ohio right now, Pennsylvania. So it will continue snowing those locations, mixing in with some rain as well. This isn't really a big system. It really moves into the northeast and doesn't do much. It drags a lot of precipitation, though, across the southern U.S. and maintains soggy conditions, but really no snow. Where the heavy snow will fall is portions of New Mexico. New Mexico will be seeing lots of snow. There are winter storm watches for almost all of the state, really, and it looks like if this snowfall amounts will be pretty heavy. You can see that this really spins up late tomorrow, early to tomorrow, or Tuesday. I don't know why I said to tomorrow. But you could see that this basically is some heavy to moderate snow, and that continues for quite a while before evolving into more of a negative tilt low. You can see right there the low pressure would be somewhere in this area, and that's where it would develop in the future. And this is where things take a little bit of a turn. The European keeps more of the precipitation taking a track, or the low taking a track like this, keeping the heavier snow across these locations, while the GFS takes more of a track like this, keeping the heavier snow across Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York. And it's at this point it's a coin toss. It's really not gonna be clear up until 36 hours ahead of when I'm recording this, as that's when this storm or this disturbance will make a landfall on the coast, and that is when it will really be I guess be more profound and more there will be more I guess agreement. And you can see that the GFS takes in a nice band of precip. It's some pretty good loads of rain over there. A little bit of severe weather, probably not out of the question. And then notice it moves into Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Missouri, Michigan, and off into the northeast. Overall, it doesn't seem like the GFS keeps it as a giant storm. There would be some moderate snowfall, but it's a large system. It's affecting a good portion of the country. You could see some amounts up to 7, 6, 4 inches, 4 to 7 inches across Ohio, Indiana, into Pennsylvania, New York. Now, this is just one of the models. If you were to look at the Canadian, it's a little bit different. It has relatively similar amounts, but it's a little bit further to the north, kind of more of what the European model has. And I want to see if I could play this out for you with the precipitation. However, this computer has been acting a little bit funky today, a little bit slow, so we'll have to see how this all plays out. As right now it's refusing to load, and it's taking a sweet old time, and has been the problem for the past several hours, and that's why I've been kind of getting frustrated over this. But hopefully we could get this to load. I'll come back once it does. It finally loaded, and I want to show you that, as you can see, that the Canadian model is now showing the storm to be a little bit further to the north than what the other model was showing, the GFS, which I showed you. You could see more across the Illinois, northern Indiana, Michigan area. Though it still brings some snow into the northeast, but not into Ohio and Pennsylvania. We'll see. At this point, it's again a coin toss. We'll have to see which one's more right. I'm leaning towards more of the northern scenario, as that's what the European has been really consistent with. I mean, really just profound consistency with the European. And if we were to look, I also want to mention that behind this storm, it looks as if there will be some pretty darn cold air, almost like a colder air of the season. and the temperatures will be downright brutally cold. If you were to look at the shaded temperatures, you could see there's negatives widespread all the way into zero temperatures, 0 Fahrenheit temperatures across southern Illinois, southern Indiana, into northern Kentucky. So definitely a big chill, and widespread negatives are underway. It's not supported by all models to this certain extent. The Canadian is showing some pretty darn cold air. The GFS shows a little bit less cold air, but they're all showing a rather a cold Arctic release of air, Arctic outbreak. So this is definitely something that's probably going to be equally as dangerous as just a snowstorm. So definitely keep an eye on for that if you live anywhere in the eastern 2/3 of the country, as this will be affecting more locations than what the storm does by itself. Okay, so let's now look at the European model. Again, European is technically our better model. That's what people like to say. It's been doing a okay job this year. Really has been underperforming, but you can see that it also shows that colder attack of air. Even though this is higher up in the atmosphere, it represents pretty well what happens at the surface. It doesn't show 100% heat, as some of these colors may indicate. There looks to be some chill in the long range as well. Some warm up, some cool downs, no heat wave. Though again, the biggest cold outbreak will be the one that's going to be occurring after the storm. I want to show you the surface and precipitation for the European. Now let's look at the European surface and precipitation. So if you were to look at this, again, we have that first storm that passed through today across portions of the Midwest, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana. Now let's look at what it has to offer with that next system. Notice this system brings up a load of precipitation, this little one, and the amount of rain will be falling. That's going to be falling is going to be pretty significant, and that kind of leads the way for this other set of storms to make their way. Start in New Mexico with the heavy snow. You can see European also shows that, and then again the European keeps it more to the north, and the GFS starts a little bit of snow in Kansas. Not much for the panhandle of Texas. Okay, however, if you live in the western panhandle, there are some winter storm watches, I'm pretty sure. So definitely keep an eye on for that, as that could transpire into some heavy snow. Hence the winter storm watch. Notice this moves through. This is now midday Wednesday, so you can see a large system. Then this spreads into the Illinois, Indiana area and drops a little bit of snow as well into northern Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, southern Michigan. Detroit seems to be getting a low side of this, and into the northeast. And then afterwards, the European has several weird systems that could be passing through. Weird because they're just really awfully weird for February. But let's see what the snowfall amounts are from this first system. Again, I want to point out that these amounts are going to be mixed in with this first system that's occurring today. You can see these are amounts, so you're not going to be seeing really the exact amounts that are just from that second storm. They will be combined with this first storm. But let's look at this and let's see what occurs if this were to load. So again, we get the heavier snow first across New Mexico. You can see some pockets of 6+ inches, definitely in the higher elevations. I would say even more. European maybe a bit conservative. And then if we look towards the amounts in the Midwest, you can see that they're also relatively significant. Especially you can see across Detroit, for example, you could be seeing, you start off with around 2 inches from this event, and you end with around 7, 8. So you could be seeing half a foot of snow from this storm. Same with a little bit of northern Illinois and into just north central Illinois and into the northeast. And then afterwards, we could see some smaller storms, which are very far out and may still change. But so this storm is going to be a larger one. There's going to be some strong winds with this, and some pretty heavy snow as well. So I want to quickly look at the National Weather Service as well. Again, we still have winter weather advisories for absolutely the whole state of Michigan, which is a little bit funny to see. You can see the whole state is in all blue. Notice New Mexico, a good portion of northern and central New Mexico are really under winter storm watches. And if we were to look at, say, this location, this general forecast area, you can see Albuquerque is under a winter storm watch. Let's look at some of the snowfall amounts. This is for through midday Monday, so they're seeing a little bit of light snow in the next 24 hours. And then this is from that bigger storm. You can see they're showing 7, 6-inch amounts, pretty widespread. Though some lower elevations could see 2 inches, as little as 2, but some could be seeing as much as a foot. So that's basically it for today's video. At this point, there's still, again, a lot of unconfidence. There's a lot of uncertainty about these storms, about this winter storm. But I want to point out, look, there's a flash flood watch across the good portion of Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, mainly the northern portions. And that is because of, again, heavy rain for a prolonged period of time. Of, not just through Tuesday, it could be through Wednesday and Thursday. So there's gonna be a lot of. You can see they're also talking about a few storms that could be severe Wednesday to Thursday. So that's also something to point out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking the video. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.